Today's a WRAL weather alert day, and already we're tracking some rain right here in the Triangle. I'll show you what to expect as you head out the door today.
Helicopter in the Hudson. An investigation happening this morning after a crash kills 6 people. What we've learned about the victims on board.
Saving St. Augustine's, addressing the future of the university after months of struggles. The event happening tonight to talk about those issues. And it is 4:30 right now on your Friday. It's going to be a wet start to your morning for certain. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. We're going to be talking about the WRAL Weather Alert Day and the rain and storms that will be rolling through. Let's get you ready to let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking some showers this morning.
A lot of that rain is right here in the Triangle area and then stretching back down, say, toward Goldsboro, and it's kind of moved toward Clinton. So it's patchy, and that's the way things are going to be all day. It's not going to rain all day long, but we're going to see waves of rain moving through with a better chance of severe storms later on. But let's zoom in right here around the Triangle from Durham to Raleigh, down towards Smithfield, Benson, Goldsboro, and all the way back towards, say, Pittsboro. So it does cover a wide area, but not everybody's seeing the rain out there this morning. We'll zoom into where Storm Tracker is right now, here on the southern part of the Beltline here in southwest Raleigh, and that's where Eric is right now, taking a look at that rain, and it's coming down pretty heavily, it looks like, on the radar. Eric, what are you seeing?
Yeah, Elizabeth can confirm taking a live look outside from the storm tracker right now. We just crossed over that Gorman exit on 40, and you can see those roads very wet right now. The wiper blades going pretty fast. Things right now thoroughly in the unpleasant category as we're starting off our Monday, or starting off our morning, rather. You're definitely going to want to have the jacket, the umbrella, everything handy. I know I had to make a mad dash out to the car early this morning. We're not seeing a lot of heavy traffic at this point or any major issues on the roads because of this rain. You know, it's early enough. Things are still a little bit slow and a little bit sleepy out here, but definitely one of those good mornings to slow down and give yourself a little bit of extra space as you're out here on the roads. Elizabeth?
Eric, thanks for being out there. Do be careful. I know it's going to be a messy start for a lot of folks. This is a look at our timeline for the rain. 90 to 100% chance until we get to the afternoon. And interestingly enough, 30% chance later on today because the cells are going to be pretty small and they're not going to be that widespread. But that's when we'll have the best chance of severe storms between 3 and 8 o'clock. Hail and strong gusty winds, and it is a level 1 risk for almost our entire viewing area. The best chances for any severe storms would be closer to the coast, but just kind of covering the bases with that level 1 risk. You can see it's messy out here in downtown Raleigh from our Jimmy V camera. You can take a look there at Fayetteville Street. 54 degrees right now, so it's not terribly cold out there, but temperatures will hold in the 50s for much of the day. We climb into the low 60s later this afternoon.
Thanks, Elizabeth. A Cumberland County ABC officer shot a man in a liquor store. The shooting happened last night at the ABC store on Person Street near downtown Fayetteville. This is video of the scene from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. State Bureau of Investigation says the officer shot the man but gave no further information about what led up to that shooting. We are working to find out the condition of the man who was shot.
Happening tonight, a town hall event in Raleigh will address the future of St. Augustine's University. This comes as the school faces staggering financial debt and loss of accreditation. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from St. Augustine's campus. And Kelsey, a popular podcast personality, is hosting this event.
Yes, Renee, and alumni and supporters of St. Augustine's are hoping that this will garner national attention as the community will weigh in on the future of St. Augustine's. Tonight's town hall is happening just 1 week after the institution faced legal trouble again. 2 companies are now suing St. Aug for unpaid bills totaling up to $18 million. The national digital talk show #Roland Martin Unfiltered is hosting tonight's town hall. They're partnering with the Save SAU Coalition and Falcons Unite. Save SAU Chairman Benjamin Johnson says he hopes the event will put their mission on a national stage.
We've been putting a lot of work into this, and we're still striving, we're still working at trying to correct the wrongs of others, but we're fighting for our legacy.
The town hall starts tonight at 6 at Martin Street Baptist Church, and doors will open tonight at 5 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
This morning, we are learning more about the 6 people killed in a helicopter crash in New Jersey. The helicopter plummeted into the Hudson River yesterday afternoon. A law enforcement official says the victims include Augustine Escobar, his wife, and their 3 children. Escobar was an executive with global tech company Siemens. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says the family was visiting from Spain. And crews worked overnight to pull that Bell 206 helicopter out of the Hudson River. Witnesses say they saw the helicopter spinning out of control with smoke coming out of it before it slammed into the water. Investigators are working to figure out what caused that crash.
Starting today, some of the top gamers in the world will be in Raleigh for an international esports tournament. 12 teams will compete for $1 million in prizes during the ESL One Raleigh event. They'll be playing the game Dota 2 in what organizers say is the first tournament of its type in North America in a decade. Gaming fans are invited to watch the players as well as enjoy interactive booths, cosplay, and more fun. The 3-day tournament will continue through Sunday.
Today's Governor Josh Stein's 100th day in office, and he plans to give updates on the ongoing recovery efforts in western North Carolina. He'll address the NC Association of County Commissioners around 10 a.m. this morning in Asheville.
New this morning, a Russian-American ballerina who was wrongfully detained in Russia is back in the U.S. Ksenia Karlina touched down at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland just before 11 last night. She had been detained in Russia since early 2024 when she was arrested while visiting family. Her arrest was over a $51 donation she made to a U.S.-based charity supporting Ukraine. She was released as part of a prisoner swap for an accused smuggler who was being held in the U.S.
Heartbreak for family and friends of this 27-year-old woman who was shot to death in Fayetteville. Police say Janah Smith knew the shooter, 24-year-old Shaheem McCall. Her death is now compelling domestic violence advocates to come forward and speak out. A report from the NC Coalition Against Domestic Violence shows an upward trend in domestic violence homicides across our state. Earlier this week, WRAL reported on a murder-suicide in Raleigh. And in March, we covered the killing of a retired Green Beret found dead in Fayetteville. Both were domestic-related situations.
Is there anything that, North Carolinians can do as a whole to, speak out?
There's a lot of things that make a big impact on the lives of families to make their lives a little bit easier and less stressful that can lessen the risk of domestic violence.
Sager says economic factors and impacts from COVID were also contributing factors to increase in domestic violence homicide. Advocates are now pushing for lawmakers here in Raleigh to contribute to changes.
Round 2 of the Masters tees off at 7:40 this morning, and a veteran looking for his first Masters win is on top of the leaderboard. Justin Rose shot 7 under par in the first round yesterday. That gives him a 3-stroke lead over his closest competitor heading into day 2. Defending champion Scottie Scheffler is one of 3 golfers tied for second place at 4 under.
End of search. Officials in the Dominican Republic are now working to identify the victims of the nightclub roof collapse there, where the death toll stands this morning as families wait to hear about their loved ones.
Budding tariff war. Local florists are concerned about rising prices. Why they say you might not be able to get your favorite flowers during certain seasons.
And we give you this live look in Chapel Hill right now at 4:38 a.m. See Franklin Street intersection, wet roads there. Today's a WRAL Weather Alert Day. Elizabeth Gardner will time out when you'll likely see storms this afternoon into this evening.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:42, and it is a rainy morning for a lot of folks, especially from the Triangle area south down toward the coast down I-40. We're going to see waves of rain today. It's not going to rain where you are all day long, but of course this does create some issues for the morning commute. From Durham to Raleigh to Clayton to Smithfield to Goldsboro is where we're seeing some of these showers right now. So if you're about to head out the door, it is definitely on the messy side. Our rain chances today mostly in the morning. Now we do have a chance of some scattered thunderstorms during the afternoon, but the coverage is likely to be again pretty minimal. About a 30% chance, but that's when we could have some wind damage, some hail, and even some more heavy rain. We're seeing some heavy rain here in Apex right now. Our temperatures range from 46 in Roxborough to say 54 in Fayetteville. So it's a bit of a milder start, and our temperatures stay in the 50s.
The death toll from the nightclub roof collapse in the Dominican Republic is now more than 220 people, and officials say the number of people missing is still unknown. Authorities say they don't know why it happened and have declined questions about the investigation. Officials say the bodies pulled from the rubble, they've identified 75 of them.
6 people were on board a small plane that overturned in Georgia after landing, but everyone is expected to be okay. So this happened late yesterday afternoon in Folkestone, Georgia. That's close to the border of Florida. 2 men were hurt and were airlifted to hospitals. 2 children on board were taken to the hospital out of precaution. The plane was landing when it left the runway and ran into some trees before it flipped over. Investigators will visit the airport today to determine the cause of the crash.
The Wake County District Attorney says no charges will be filed in the shooting of a man by Raleigh police officers earlier this year. This happened January 21st on Democracy Street. Officer Max Gillick was critically hurt during a shootout with 70-year-old Antonio Rodriguez. This was all in the Renaissance Park neighborhood. Rodriguez died in the shootout. Investigators say before police arrived, Rodriguez killed his ex-wife's boyfriend, 73-year-old John Rowe. Officer Gillick has since been discharged from the hospital and continues to recover at home. The DA says her office concluded the use of force was justified and the officer will face no charges.
Your time is 4:44 here in the WRAL Live Center. Jeff, I just want to point our viewers' attention to this photo right here. This is in Franklinton. It looks like, or I should say Franklin County, specifically in Franklinton. Castleberry Lane, there was some kind of fire that happened here, and you'll see this home. You can't even see really a roof on the top there. It looks like it already burned down, but there are some firefighters who are there on the scene. Our photojournalist, Michael Joyner, is there, and he says that he was speaking with investigators, and it seems as though it appears to be destroyed, according from him, from the inside as well. And he says that this is just a single-story home, as you can see, but no injuries being reported there. In terms of what started the fire, that's unclear. We'll try to get more information from investigators, including if anyone actually was home when this happened.
Some Triangle small business owners are starting to feel the effects of President Trump's new tariffs. Caitlin Frank is a florist at Golden Flora in Apex. She says 80% of the flowers sold in the U.S. are grown in countries like Ecuador and Colombia. This means some of your favorite flowers could be off the table during certain months, and florists will have to rely on local flowers. She posted to Instagram to let her customers know.
Some of my wholesalers have absorbed some of the tariff cost, and they're estimating a 7 to 10% increase. My vase wholesaler has estimated somewhere between 10 and 15% increase. I feel like every day I get different information about the tariffs, though, so it's hard to really land on one answer at the moment.
The uncertainty is why Caitlin Frank says she'll cover the added cost for customers who already paid for flowers months ago. But it will mean raising prices for future customers, and she worries her business might wilt long term. This morning, the first nonstop flight from Bermuda to RDU, as we look live, will be arriving at the airport. Bermudair begins its nonstop flights to the British Island Territory today. The first flight from Bermuda will land this morning at 8:30. Bermudair is the 4th international airline to launch or announce new service at RDU this year. The airport serves 10 destinations outside the U.S. Oh, can we go? That sounds fabulous. 4:46 now on this Friday. And if we're sticking around here, well, we're going to see some rain. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking a rainy Friday.
And we're going to start with dual Doppler 5000 radar, where we have some rain around the Triangle area. Goldsboro, Raleigh, Durham, seeing some showers this morning. It's not going to stick in that one place all morning long. So we'll see just these waves of rain moving through. It's not going to be wet everywhere all day long. But we did have some heavy rain down here in the southern part of the viewing area earlier. And so we do have a flood advisory that's in effect until 5:15. We've seen over an inch of rain here for Fayetteville, Hope Mills, back over across Hope County and westward. So do keep that in mind if you're about to head out the door down there in that part of our viewing area. Again, Durham, Chapel Hill, Rollsville, Zebulon, Raleigh, Clayton, Smithfield. We're seeing some showers right now. This is a look at the big picture. There has been some severe weather along this front, but it was hours ago. You can see that popping up there closer to midnight. Things are pretty quiet now. This warm front is bringing us the rain this morning, and then the cold front, when it swings through, will bring us rain later on this afternoon. So it is a WRAL weather alert day. The best chance for severe storms will be between 3 and 8 o'clock. Small hail is possible, gusty winds, and some isolated flooding as well, with that level 1 risk for severe storms. We take a look at Futurecast, and you can see the showers sitting over us right now, but notice how that really just moves around a lot. At 8 o'clock, it's looking a little less rainy, and that's good for folks heading out at that point. But at lunchtime, some more waves of rain come through, and even a little peak of of sunshine is possible this afternoon, but the more sunshine we see, the more that's going to energize the atmosphere. And so during the evening hours, you can see there's 7 o'clock, a cell rolls through. That's going to produce some heavy rain and the chance of some wind damage and some hail. Finally, by midnight, all of that tapers off. It changes a little for Saturday. We're going to see a flow coming out of the north. That's going to bring more cloud cover. It's going to be a chilly day for us on Saturday. High temperatures will be in the 50s, but it doesn't look wet. It's definitely wet in Chapel Hill this morning as you're heading out the door. That rain is coming down. Temperatures are in the mid 50s, and it'll feel like 50s for most of the day today. It is 46 in Roxborough, but elsewhere temperatures are in the low to mid 50s. In the Triangle, it's 52 in Garner and in Cary, 52 in Durham, and 52 there in Fuquay-Varina. Around town today, looking at 61 in Raleigh, 58 in Durham, and 67 in Fayetteville. So a little bit warmer down to the south, but it will feel like 50s for most of the day. 71 is our normal high. 50s for Saturday, 67 Sunday. We bounce way up to 83 on Monday, and Tuesday looks like a nice day too at 74. Saturday is Pig City Pig Fest in Apex. It is not going to be raining. It will be cloudy and cool, but put on a jacket and head out Saturday. It'll feel fine. We'll see more sunshine on Sunday with a high a bit closer to 70 degrees. We definitely need the rain. Coming up, we're going to talk about how much rain we can see out of the system and how much we still need.
Thanks, Elizabeth. This is history in the making. An all-female space flight set to launch Monday. Who will be among those crew members?
And grand opening. A new pickleball court is opening this weekend in Wilson. The tournament happening to celebrate the new facility.
So it's not your imagination. Spring has been off to a blustery start. The winds have brought more than just a chill. WRAL's climate reporter Liz McLaughlin shows us how North Carolina is getting caught in these crosswinds.
It was the second windiest start to spring ever recorded in the United States. You can see just how widespread those gusty conditions have been across the United States. And in North Carolina, March was categorized as above or well above average for wind speeds. That's fueling fire danger and blowing around record levels of pollen. Experts say warm weather in the Gulf and changes in the jet stream are shaking up spring weather across the southeast. And here in North Carolina, we're feeling it. Strong winds and 80-degree days made allergy season hit hard. Grass pollen hit record highs for March, and yellow pine dust coated cars and streets.
We know through attribution science that there is a fingerprint of climate change to that. So when you have these unnatural temperatures, a little warmer than they should be, clashing with those colder temperatures to the north, you can do a couple different things. You can get windier conditions, but it can also be the ingredients that are needed for those severe storms.
March brought hurricane-force wind gusts in the mountains up to 65 miles per hour, and statewide it was one of the windiest months in decades. In Polk County, dry, windy air fanned the flames for wildfires that destroyed nearly a dozen homes. Right now, 63 wildfires are burning across North Carolina, covering more than 11,000 acres. We're still in wildfire season, and the outlook remains dry and breezy. I'll have a deeper look at the state's wildfire threat, including the lasting risks after Hurricane Helene later this month.
And we're also looking at a windy couple of days straight ahead here in the Triangle, topping 20 miles per hour, for instance, today.
History will be made on Monday when a Blue Origin spaceflight with an all-female crew will launch from Texas. The New Shepard rocket's 31st mission includes a 6-woman crew: journalist Gayle King, pop star Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, who is engaged to Jeff Bezos, film producer Carrie Ann Flynn, former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowe, and bioastronautics research scientist Amanda Wynn. There will be no pilots. The crew will experience weightlessness and witness views of Earth through windows.
The Oscars is unveiling a new award honoring the work of stunt designers. The first award for stunt design will be given out at the 2027 ceremony. The CEO of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences says stunts have been an integral part of filmmaking since the early days of cinema. More than 100 stunt professionals are members of the Academy's production and technology branch.
Today, a groundbreaking is happening for a new park in Garner. Yeargan Park will be on East Garner Road. The first phase of the park will feature 4 multi-use athletic fields, an inclusive playscape, a picnic shelter, and a multi-use paved path. The groundbreaking ceremony is scheduled for 2:30 this afternoon.
And a big tournament marks the opening of a brand new pickleball facility in the city of Wilson. The grand opening pickleball tournament starts today at the J. Burt Gillette complex, and the event runs through Sunday. It's a 26-court complex that opened in January. However, the tournament will serve as the official grand opening now. A portion of the entry fee will go to Make-A-Wish, Eastern North Carolina. A family's outraged, they say a Wake County deputy shot and killed their dog. What the sheriff's office is saying about this incident.
Freedom on the line. The push to release the Menendez brothers is heading to court today. Why the LA district attorney says he does not support their resentencing.
All things pimento. We'll tell you about the nation's only festival to honor the cheese. It's happening right here in the Triangle.